right, everyone, and welcome to today's edition of the Fresh Takes podcast here on FingerLakes1.com. I, of course, am Paul Russo. Across from me, as always, is Nick Felice. Nick, how are you doing today?
Hey, Paul. Always a pleasure. It's our last show in the month of July.
It is.
It is. This is our fourth show here on FingerLakes1.com now.
Yep.
9th overall.
Yep.
And we got some good topics today, Paul.
Yeah, I think we do. We're going to do a little bit differently today because you'll see, I'll pull it up here quick. As you know, our pop culture side is, we kind of tailor, I guess, to like the movie side and all that. So a lot of our topics we're going to talk about pop culture-wise, we're all on Comic-Con. So we're going to do a nice little long version
geek out today
of Comic-Con. And we're going to move into our sports topics. A little bit slower time in the sports world right now, but hopefully you guys will enjoy. We'll hop right into first one for today, which we're just going to jump right in and do Comic-Con 2018, the big, industry show down in San Diego every year, where you get all your trailers, teasers, novelties, where people don't like spoilers pretty much. And Nick, a lot of fun stuff. Anything pop to your attention initially for Comic-Con 2018?
Big thing that popped in my mind is seeing a few of the trailers, seeing what some of the stuff they've been saying over there in San Diego. It seems like Marvel not too big this year.
Yeah, they didn't.
It has been mostly DC running the show.
Yeah, it seemed to be quite the DC type, I guess, as I bump into the mic there, the DC-themed Comic-Con this year, which is really interesting, considering that Marvel kind of had a stranglehold a little bit with Deadpool. I don't know if you noticed some of the stuff they did with Deadpool, but like the toilet covers, like the public toilets, the covers you put on.
Yes.
So apparently they were all Deadpool themed.
Really?
Like it was Deadpool. It was Deadpool's face in the center.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
I think it's clever marketing. Is what it is. But that's just me.
I'd get one of them.
Yeah. So speaking of Deadpool, I will say this: the one trailer I did see and I really liked was called Shazam, which initially I thought
watched that trailer.
Which initially, when I first saw the word Shazam, I thought, like, why is Shaq redoing such a terrible movie?
Or why is Jamie Foxx's show a movie now?
That's true. But Shazam, not to give, I guess, too much away, even though the trailer's out, so if you don't know the general premise of it.
It's a DC movie.
It is a DC movie. A boy who's going through the foster system kind of gets stopped on a subway type deal, and he gets superpowers, and whenever he says the word Shazam, and the only person who knows that he is Shazam is his foster brother. And they get into some hijinks, a lot of laughs, the way it seems. So I kind of had this notion that, is this like DC's version of like Deadpool in a way?
It could be.
Yeah. Because you said you saw a trailer, so like a lot of the humor they hint at, I'm like, is this kind of like a diluted Deadpool?
Yeah, it's definitely very comedy based.
Yeah.
The kid seems like, and from the trailers, he's a Superman fan. He's a big superhero fan. Because obviously they're in that universe where superheroes exist. Yep. It's not like it's weird that the kid just all of a sudden has superpowers. It's a world of superheroes in there. And I don't know. I think it's not going to be like a very plot-oriented movie. I think it's just to get to know the superhero of Shazam. They didn't really hint any bad guys in the trailer. I mean, there probably will end up being one in the trailer. You
didn't see what I did there.
Look at that shot. I'm just taking the moment right here. Wow, that's new.
Yeah.
And
we're testing the water.
Yeah, I definitely see that. And Shazam? Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah.
Shazam, and I'm sure there will be a bad guy in the movie. Nothing from the trailer really shows other than bullies.
I think there was some sort of bad guy, though. They kind of hinted at it, and I did my Wikipedia research, which, by the way, apparently Shazam's original name was Captain
really?
DC or something like that. It was weird.
Really?
But that's what I saw.
He's Captain DC.
Yeah. So,
heard of that.
You got any other trailers that you saw specifically that you want to talk about, or anything that you caught wind of? at Comic-Con?
Because
I got a little bit of a list.
Yeah, one more thing I'll say is I'm not a Sons of Anarchy fan.
Yeah, neither am I. I know what you're going with here.
But the Mayan show, the spin-off show, I feel like is huge for Sons of Anarchy fans out there. They should watch that.
I'm even intrigued by it as well. And
really?
I was never.
Did you watch Sons?
No, I did not. But I am intrigued a little bit by the Mayans MC spinoff because I kind of like the prequels, and then I don't know what you really call like the end all be all, I guess, or the aftermath of it. But I think it's pretty cool.
It's a sequel.
I guess technically speaking, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what you really call it though, because it's kind of like the aftermath of what happens after the end of Sons of Anarchy.
So let's hear this list, Paul.
Yeah, so my next one is, and you'll like this because you know me and my movie like ways, how I don't like The Purge.
You don't?
No, because I think they completely messed up the first movie in the first place.
Yeah.
So coming to USA in the fall, they're doing a 10-episode miniseries of The Purge, how it like got its start, and
really,
like the trailer for the show intrigues me, but I feel like this should have been the first movie in the first place, like. So like, you know me, like I think they completely messed up The Purge in the first place, but like now they're going back and doing like the prequel for it, so I'll probably give it a watch for a couple episodes.
Yeah.
But like I'm sitting there going like, this is the premise for like a full movie. Like you could be making millions off of this.
Have you seen all the Purges?
No, I refuse.
I have the third one, just haven't watched it yet.
Yeah.
I like the second one though. Second one was cool. Not gonna lie.
I just don't like how they messed up the first one because.
What do you mean they messed it up? I mean, it's the
was
first movie of a series. How did they mess it up?
I understand it was a good first movie, but like they completely like messed it up. Like I wanted to see what was going on like outside and how they got to the like this purge, but no, we only get one view of this family that's getting like should have been decimated, but instead we get the people who are purging completely like botching the whole thing.
Yeah.
So.
And only the dad died.
Yeah.
Oh,
did he though?
Sorry.
No.
If you have not seen The Purge 1.
It's been, 5 years? I think you're safe.
There's probably a few. You know, we have 3 people watching right now. There's somebody pissed right now.
I got 5 more on my end, but whatever. Oh. But anyway, next one I kind of wanted to talk about is Godzilla, because I love Godzilla, and this new Godzilla movie coming out next year is getting me really excited for Godzilla again. It's like the end of, like, human civilization with Godzilla coming back out of the sea. It's like nuts. Did you see
Who's in that movie?
I don't know. I just saw the trailer and I got really excited because Godzilla is a superstar of Godzilla.
I heard there was another one coming out. Man. I've never been a huge Godzilla fan.
You're more of a King Kong guy, I think, aren't you? Planet of the Apes, like King Kong.
More of a Jurassic Park, dinosaur type of guy.
I mean, Jurassic Park, I mean,
that's a given.
Godzilla's kind of a dinosaur.
Yes, he definitely is.
So we discussed it too last episode a couple of weeks ago about The Walking Dead.
Oh yeah,
and they released their trailer. Their trailer is always notoriously a bit long. Yeah, well, they're notoriously long, but this one was certainly longer than usual. I think we get, and it was confirmed that Andrew Lincoln, Rick Grimes, is leaving.
Did you watch the trailer?
Yes. Either at some point during or after the season. Mm-hmm. So I think
Maggie, Lauren Cohan, is staying.
I thought she was going.
There's rumors that she's staying now.
All right, so
that's a good thing.
What did you get from the trailer?
What did I get from the trailer? Just get me excited. Obviously, number one, there's a lot of characters now.
Yeah.
There's a shit ton of characters. They need to start killing some.
Well, they casted, I forget the actress's name, but they did cast and release the name of who will be playing Alpha for the Whisperers.
Yep.
So I think that's a pretty big...
then you got them coming in.
That's pretty telltale, I think, of what we're going to see. Maybe not for the first half of the season, per se, but certainly for that back half come the winter time.
And they got all these new characters, like you said, with the Whisperers coming in. That's a lot more characters. Yeah. I can see why they're killing off Rick. I mean, not who I would have chose to kill off, or I'm not saying he's going to get killed off. He could leave, and it could be like the helicopter thing. He could believe in that. I don't know what the deal is with him. It's just
it will be interesting because I thought the trailer had an interesting view of kind of like what to expect. You have Negan talking to Rick a little bit in the basement in the jail cell.
There is a time jump.
Yes. Well, that was kind of a given, I think, going in. But
yeah, because that's what happened.
You certainly got the idea that something was coming, and then you almost say Negan was kind of talking futuristically about what will happen. You know, I think it was more or less a lot of Negan going through it himself, essentially.
Can we get the hashtag free Negan going?
I like Negan, but I don't know.
I think we should let him out. Even though, yes, I guess he's been in there a couple years now with the time jump. But
yeah, that's true. So that kind of wraps up. Anything else you want to talk about Comic-Con quick or no?
Just big video game guy. Get ready for the new Spiral game coming out in September. That's all I got to say.
That's true. So we're going to move on then to the second topic of the day, first sports topic. That is the World Cup final occurring, what was it, a week ago now? Well, like 10 days ago now.
Yeah.
So we had France.
After our last show.
France defeated Croatia 4-2. It was certainly a fun World Cup, even though I'm not a soccer fan at all. It was fun to watch.
Neither one of us are soccer fans.
But we got to talk about it. It was fun, and the French, essentially led by Paul Pogba and Mbappe, I feel like throughout the tournament overall. The Croatian team, really nothing to slouch at. I feel like the world was awakened to what they really had.
It's kind of like the Stanley Cup Finals.
Yeah.
The right team won, we could say, but the runner-up, nothing to be ashamed of. They almost pulled off a Cinderella story.
That's true. So, I think it's... Oh, no.
And I just want to say, Luka Modric is a good player.
Yeah.
Knew him a little bit, but now I've become a big fan. And this World Cup was just very unpredictable.
Yeah, it was, and you certainly got that feel of it. These were two teams that nobody expected to be in the final. I don't think.
No, I don't even remember who I picked. Probably Germany, Spain, something like that.
Kind of like the usual.
Oh, Brazil. I had Brazil win.
Yeah. But I did say at the beginning a little bit that I certainly felt Croatia might have been a little bit of a dark horse, at least in my eyes.
France,
me and my vast soccer knowledge.
And what I've heard about France is that they're really young, and this was supposed to be like their young season, and the next World Cup was supposed to be like their prime season of winning. So watch out for France.
Yeah, that's certainly true.
And their fries.
And it's kind of weird because France is going through an overall like athletic, like young, like boom right now. When you think about like Joel Embiid, like guys like Embiid and for your Knicks, Frank Nikita.
Yeah. You say Nilikita first before Embiid.
Nilikita. But, it's certainly, I think, cool to see France go through this because they have produced some great athletes before, and we're seeing it again, I feel like, right now.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah. So
it was a good World Cup. I wish your brother was here so we could talk about it.
He's at work, or what? He's getting out of work right now, I believe. So it's good for him anyway.
We'll talk to him at the next World Cup.
In a few years. Anyway, we're going to move on now to the big sports action this past weekend, the British Open. Francesco Molinari, the 35-year-old Italian, wins the British Open, first Italian golfer to win a major. And certainly in the hunt all weekend, you had Tiger finally back, you had Rory Spieth.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
So
it was exciting.
It was exciting. What was do you have any big takeaways initially here, the start?
Oh, without a doubt, it's Tiger freaking Woods.
Yeah.
The man seems like he's back. There was no doubt that the talent wasn't there. The talent was always there. Tiger's the greatest golfer. I'm going to go out there. He's the greatest golfer of all time. Wow. The talent was always there. It's just him being healthy, and he's healthy right now. And if Jim Furyk doesn't take Tiger Woods on the Ryder Cup team, he's an absolute idiot. An absolute idiot.
Easy.
Paul.
Easy.
I'm sorry. Tiger's playing well. Not a huge Rory fan.
I don't even know. Did Furyk even play in the Open?
Nah, I don't remember seeing his name.
I don't see his name on the leaderboard.
But I did pick Francesco Molinari to win the Open.
Did you?
Yeah. No, I didn't.
I don't think anybody did. He's been playing some really good golf.
The thing with Molinari, he's always seems to be up there.
Yeah.
I just don't think he had the tools to win it. I thought he'd be more of a Steve Stricker type player.
He's played good as of late.
Yes.
I think they were saying he's finished top. I'm not going to say as high up as 2, but he's finished top 5. I think his past 3 PGA events and European events or something like that.
And he finally broke the streak of Americans. I think the last non-American to win a major was Sergio last year's Masters.
So it's not like a super long super long drought.
It's not like Americans in tennis, but it's definitely something. The Americans, and the last time the Americans had hold all 4 trophies was Tiger in 2000, 2001, somewhere in there.
Yeah,
he held them all. That's really impressive.
I'm just taking a quick look at the leaderboard too, and technically they have a list as the top 2 finishers as Molinari and then Rose from England anyway.
Rose is always.
So your first American was Xander. We'll pronounce it wrong, but Schauffele. I made him unnecessarily French, but they have Kisner and then Rory, Pepperell, who played hungover on this final round, Chappell, and then you have Woods, Fiano, Kuchar, Spieth. All those guys were tied in 9th, and that was a good group of golfers who were playing well in that final round too.
Yep.
At least I thought anyway.
I thought the Pepperell story was funny. I did see the world rankings before during the Open, and I saw where Tiger was. He was 71st on the world rankings, and Pepperell was actually 72nd. Mm-hmm. So you expect them to both make a jump. I don't know what they are right now, but
when do they release those? I
think it's weekly.
Is it weekly?
Yeah.
So we'll probably find out, and then it was a fun Open to watch. I think you got people actually in it. I was screaming Tiger unnecessarily, all day.
People were screaming Tiger on his back swings.
Don't be that guy either.
Yeah.
By the way,
when you go to a golf event, don't yell, especially not Tiger's backswing on the 18th hole of the final day of a major.
That was his big
He was still in it too. If he had birdied and Molinari had bogeyed, it would have been tied. And he needed a birdie. Ooh, and we're back to this view again. And I'm excited to see what Tiger's next move is.
I think it will be a fun, certainly a fun. I think coming down the stretch, they got the PGA.
Put him on the Ryder Cup.
They got the PGA left, so I think it will be fun to see what he can do there. And hopefully we can see these guys all together again play. The top guys were playing extremely well, so I think that bodes well for the rest of the year. I think going forward. So now we're going to move into our wheelhouse, if you will. The MLB trade deadline is fast approaching. Next week, I believe it's Thursday?
Next Tuesday.
No, Tuesday, that's right. I get my dates mixed up a little bit, as you can tell. First initial big domino trade, though, as you can tell, is the Machado deal to the Dodgers. Certainly a deal that Baltimore had to make, and they finally did. They pulled the trigger. They're losing their pull each and every day, and they got a pretty good deal in return from the Dodgers. And then today, before we got on, Nick, I don't know if you noticed, but the Yankees made a deal today.
Is it the Britton deal?
It is the Britton deal. I heard that
right before I locked out of my house. Matt told me.
So
Matt, my brother.
We're making moves. If you're a Yankee fan, we're making moves. And it should be an interesting down the stretch deal. By the way, a bit of an MLB nugget, Nick. I don't know if you noticed, but we'll break some news to you. The Pirates won their 11th straight game tonight.
I got the update. 11 in a row. Surprised you knew.
Yeah. I got that update. So we're moving pretty fast to the deadline right now. I think AL-wise, I think you can know who is going to be the buyers and sellers. I think overall. But the NL-wise, NL playoff picture is kind of it's a bit of a logjam at the moment, wild card-wise.
There's only a few teams that are out of it.
Yeah.
No one's out of it, but out of it.
So you're a Pittsburgh fan. You think there'll be buyers or sellers or somewhere in between?
Oh, they are definitely staying the same. With that cheap-ass owner they have, they are definitely staying the same. They're looking at this 11-game winning streak right now, and they're saying, oh, why change things? Mm-hmm. So I don't want to spend any more money.
He who should not be named.
Bob Nutting, if you want.
Well,
his address is below here. If you want to throw eggs at his house or something.
Not nice.
They won't do anything. They'll just keep the same team.
It's kind of been, I guess, the ship for the Pirates. I remember even in college where I was in Erie because there were a lot of people from Pittsburgh, and they were nothing but bad things to say about Nutting. Even when they were doing good, they wouldn't do anything to bolster that roster. So it'd certainly be interesting for them. I think think the big player may not be a buyer in the NL, but will probably be a seller in the NL, being the Mets.
Yes.
I know they effectively said over the weekend that Zach Wheeler is going to be, I guess, the main guy they're going to be shopping. Mm-hmm. I guess DeGrom, if you're Jake DeGrom, man, you want to be out of there. But the way it sounds, they want the bank and the Brinks truck with it in return for DeGrom.
Mm-hmm, absolutely.
So it'll be interesting. I don't think, obviously, with Syndergaard going on the DL with the most Mets thing of all year, unfortunately.
Yeah, he'll be back.
I don't think he'll be moved though by the deadline. He may be an August waiver deal. You never know. I mean,
it's either August or after the season.
Well, you had Verlander last year, which was an interesting August move.
That's right. It was August.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting there.
Going back to Pirates.
Yeah.
Ivan Nova.
Yep.
Or Ivan Nova.
It's Ivan.
Ivan. Well, anyway, other than the Pirates going on this 11-game winning streak, he would have been one of those starting pitchers up for grabs. The Yankees were one of the teams that was kind of interested in him to bring him back. And I also have a fun fact for you here, Paul.
Fire away.
The last time the Pirates won 10 games in a row was July 5th, 2004. Can you name one player on that starting line?
Rob Makoviak.
Oh, yeah. Kendall, Wilson, Makoviak, Wilson. So Craig. Bobby Hill, Simone, Redmond, Castillo, Wells. Kip Wells.
Darryl Ward off the bench.
Probably. That is sad.
That was a fun Pirates team though. There was just a bunch of randomly good players mixed in with terrible players.
Yeah, that 2014 was all right. It's one of my first teams I rooted for.
Shout out Albert Perez. He's still kicking in the league.
Yeah, he just played against the Pirates tonight.
Cleveland.
The Indians. Yeah.
They're playing right now. Well, they did play right now already.
Yeah, that was probably one of the first teams I rooted for. 04, 05, somewhere I became a Pirates fan. I was a Mets fan for 1 year, but then gave it up. I was a Piazza fan. Piazza? Mike? Piazza?
Yes, I remember him.
So, Paul.
Yeah.
One team that needs to make a move at the deadline is...
The one team that needs to make a move at the deadline
buyers or sellers?
So I already said something about a seller, so I'll go buyer, the Atlanta Braves.
And
they need to do a little bit of bolstering, I think, to the lineup offensively and maybe get a bullpen piece or a starting arm. Something that you can use in the playoffs and when you get there.
Yes.
Selling-wise, I'd probably say, I already brought up the Mets, so I'll go someone different. I'll say Toronto. Their window is effectively closed. I think they need to get rid of the, I won't say really old guys because Donaldson's only 32, so he's not incredibly old, but his age is showing already. So if you're Toronto, I feel like you got to make that move to, I guess, make up your mind and sell and get some young guys and get that system replenished because their system is slightly depleted until you get to Double-A, which obviously is not far, but Vlad Guerrero Jr., Bo Bichette, and Craig Biggio's son's only going to get you so far.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I was about to say, I'll throw it to you.
Okay. For me,
the one team on both ends, buyers and sellers, that need to make a move is... You weren't anticipating for this, were you?
No, I was not expecting a quick answer like that. I was going to give my seller and buyer, but the one team that needs to make a move is... the one team that needs to make a move is the Mariners.
Okay, that's true.
They need another starter, and they need more bullpen. They could use some offense though too. That's the thing.
Well,
they need to get out of these one-run games.
Yeah, it's a weird conundrum. All these teams that need things are essentially all they need the same thing.
Yeah.
Right. So it's going to be a lot of all right. I'm getting player X, but only because we need to block him from team Y type deal.
But the Royals and Mets need to sell. They need to sell.
Yeah, the Royals too.
Moustakas, maybe Perez.
The way it sounds, there's a lot of talk with Moustakas to Philadelphia. The way it sounds,
they need to sell. They need to get young. They need to start over. It's not working there.
It is not.
That's what happens when you go for the World Series. Luckily, they got one. But
that's the way baseball is right now. Is you gun for these like 1 or 2 year runs if you're lucky. I mean, look at what the Cubs. That's essentially what it is the Cubs framework for 2016, where they went for the run and they got it, and now they're kind of trapped in. I mean, they're slightly above mediocrity, but they're not going to be a team, I feel like, that will fight people in the playoffs for a big spot type deal. You know what I mean? Like, that lineup is still good. Like, it could threaten every now and then, but that lineup this year has not been good. And the pitching wise too, the bullpen, you don't have a true closer still on that team. Your rotation is extremely top heavy with Lester, and Quintana has not turned out what you wanted him to be.
And Darvish.
Where's Darvish? He's somewhere in a doctor's office, probably.
Yeah. It should be an interesting deadline. We'd like to talk about it more. Maybe next pod we talk about maybe what we expect in August, or maybe then the one after that.
We're in August. We'll be full-fledged into the dog days of summer, really.
Fantasy football talk.
That's true. We're nearing fast on the gridiron. Hopefully we'll get a nice guest in here for that.
Yep.
Guest or two, maybe. You never know.
Maybe a Jaron Johnson.
He's in South Carolina.
Maybe we'll get him on video.
I don't know how we really do that, but you never know, really. Quickly before we go, though, I brought up the Britton trade. For those who really want to know, if you haven't gotten any updates about it, the Yankees trade away Josh Rogers, Cody Carroll, who has like a 1.08 whip at AAA Scranton right now, and Dylan Tate, who is their number 9 overall prospect. I think he was like their second or third pitching prospect on the list. He's been at AA Trenton all year. By the way it sounds, Cody Carroll will probably be right up at Baltimore. The only thing really now has to go through medical review, which with Baltimore recently has been a very big question mark. So that's where the Yankees stand at the moment. I feel like that's a big check mark for the Yankees for what they need at a left-handed arm. Kind of help take the stress off of Chasen Shreve. He has been a bit sketchy
in the bullpen
so far this year. Yeah, in the bullpen. So that essentially really wraps up our show.
I'll make one more final point here, Paul.
Oh, go ahead.
I have going back to PGA.
Oh, the PGA.
Tiger Woods has gained 21 spots in the world rankings from 71 to 50.
Nice.
Eddie Pepperell has gained 15 spots from 72 to 57.
Nice.
My shout out today is to Andrew Lucchesi, neighbor, and is heading off to China.
He is doing big things over there, hopefully. And
he's teaching English, but doesn't know Chinese. So good luck, I guess.
It'll be good. It will be good over there, I feel like. And obviously, Andrew, wish you nothing but the best, bud. And
Konnichiwa.
That's Japanese. But we'll be.
I'm not going.
We'll be still hanging out with him for a few more days. He'll be around, I think, for another week and a half or so. But
yep.
Yeah, definitely nice little shout out there. I think he deserves it. He's been around all.
He's a big fan.
Big fan of the show. So with that in mind, I'm Paul Russo. Nick, as always, across from us. We'll do that quick for you.
Yeah, one more of that view. We need another. We need an angle over there. We need an angle over here. There. All right, I'm done for the day.
All right, so without further ado, I'm Paul Russo. Of course, across from me is Nick Felice, and we'll see you in a couple weeks on the next episode of the Fresh Takes Podcast.
See ya, guys.